probably know why the sky is blue, and maybe at some point you've asked, where is it the bluest? And well, what does that even mean to be the bluest? We're going to talk about all of this on today's episode of Life's Potluck Buffet, and also I'm going to draw a card to see what our future skies hold for us. So stick around. I'm John Paulus. Thanks for listening to Life's Potluck Buffet, only on YouTube. Okay, let's get down to business here. The sky, why is the sky blue? The age-old question. Well, now we know because of science that the sky is blue because molecules in the air scatter short wavelengths more than long wavelengths, and the short wavelengths of colors are bluer colors, right? Blue is a shorter wavelength, and so the longer wavelengths in the daytime, right? The when the sky is when the sun is out and in the let's say middle of the sky, that's why we have the blue color that we perceive in the sky, because of the scattering of those wavelengths that are shorter ones, which are blue. So that's why the daytime sky is blue, and that's pretty well-known fact, but if you hadn't heard it before, there you have it. I have wondered in the past, and I've actually explored this in the past, what place on Earth has the bluest skies? And then I've also wondered, what does that even mean, the bluest skies? Because I've lived in a bunch of places, and the skies look differently blue in different places, and almost distinctively differently blue, to me at least. And so there is something to that, but is there a way to figure that out? And if there is a way to figure that out, how do you do it? Well, in 2006, a TV researcher named Anya Hohenbaum won a competition where she would travel the world with a spectrometer. So the point of the spectrometer, of course, is that it measures the wavelengths of light, and so by understanding where those wavelengths are on the spectrum, you can understand how blue or red, or depending on where those locations are on the spectrum. And the UK's National Physical Laboratory provided this spectrometer that they specially designed that she could use. And so each place she went, she would, measure the sky at the same time of day, and then she would plot it. Now, what this resulted in is a chart where you could see what is the closest to the blue part of the spectrum. Well, if you look at the chart that got produced, you see the winner is Brazil, somewhere in Rio de Janeiro, or Rio de Janeiro. Tell me if you're from Brazil. Tell me hello, first of all, and tell me if I got that right. Rio de Janeiro. I try to get it right for all of our Brazilian friends out there. So the sky was bluest in Brazil, and the sky was least blue in San Francisco, of all the places she measured. Now, here's the problem. First of all, Expedia, the online travel agency, paid for this. So it's obviously I'm not going to say publicity stunt, but it was a marketing idea. It wasn't exactly meant for, let's call it scientific purposes. So it is what it is there. And given the fact that of the time of day that the person was doing the reading on the spectrometer, and the locations where they went, I kind of understand why the least sunny place was San Francisco. Is because the time of day that the person did the reading, and I think it was like kind of in the morning around 10 a.m., dollars to donuts in San Francisco, you're gonna have fog. There's no way that very few days where the sun is gonna necessarily be peeking through. And even if it is peeking through at that point, you're gonna get a very not blue reading. But I know for a fact when the fog lifts in San Francisco, the skies are usually both cloudless and exceedingly electrically blue. And so there are some, uh, and this is why I brought up San Francisco here, because there are some Australian websites that talk about how they have a measure for blueness of sky, and they have found that in the United States, San Francisco has the bluest sky. So here you have two different I call them competitions, where in one San Francisco has the least blue skies, and the other one has the most blue skies. Now, just from personal experience, I can say that Northern California, when the sun is out, the skies are exceedingly electrically blue. Absolutely, totally can see that. And they have a different tint from the blue skies in other places that I have lived. And looking at the Australian data about the blueness of the skies, and it seems like they're comparing them to also to Pantone blues. So that's kind of interesting. That's an interesting idea as well, to see like what shade of blue it is. In that, looking at the cities and the ones that I've visited, to me it kind of makes sense as well. But the good news is, and also, of course, pollution is a big factor, because if your skies are smoggy then all day long, then you're never going to see blue skies. So you might have the same thing with the fog in San Francisco. You might have a situation with smog somewhere where, every day the reading is going to be low. But does that really mean anything? We know that, in 2020, when there weren't a lot of cars on the roads in some of these places, all of a sudden, when the smog lifted, the sky is intensely blue. Like, amazing, right? So that's another interesting thing that, like, we can't really, there are human factors in the sky color measure that really don't help you know what exactly how blue the sky is really going to be. And I really feel like this is one of those areas where our human optical perception is really key, because I know in my life that when I go to a place, I notice the skies when they are clear, and I notice the blueness of them, and it makes a difference to me in terms of understanding what that blueness looks like and what it means to me. So think about that today when there's a clear day where you are. See what the sky's color feel like to you. In some places, because of various factors, day in and day out, it might not appear particularly blue, but it's definitely going to have its own particular hue that you will know and feel. So let's see what blue skies are ahead for us by drawing a card from the Life's Potluck Buffet card deck. Okay, so here we go. Yellow lemons, blue dumplings, magenta noodles, cards. Tell us somethings. It'd be really good if it was a blue dumpling card. I'm sure it will be, because I said that. Yeah, it is. Hey, how do you like that? So it's a wild card today. Describe a logo that comes to mind, whether you love it or hate it, or just happen to think about it. There's a reason why that logo came to mind. Explain what it is and explain what that means to you. And that's the blue dumpling wild card. So how do you like that? Thanks, cards. Appreciate that. So think about that. When I said logo, whatever the logo that popped into your head was, think about why that popped into your head and what that means you need to do to make your skies a little bit bluer today. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow on Life's Potluck Buffet.